Here's my project. I'm making a trailer for my Versys X300. I went on my first moto camping trip, and basically I just thought, I hauled all my stuff on. It was no problem, but I was thinking, I wonder if you could do a trailer. And I started researching online, and sure enough, I'm not the first person to think of this. A lot of people have built these things. There are a couple companies that make them commercially, but I was looking at them and I thought, man, I can do that. I got most of the stuff I need to do it. In fact, I don't think I had to buy any steel. Now I got most of the stuff out of my pile that I have, my scrap pile or whatever. I did have to buy a lot of bearings because it was kind of a guess and check, and I bought that shock. I bought that rear axle. I ordered a wheel, but anyway, that's all beside the point. This is just kind of a preview. I've got it assembled so far. I may end up doing something different with this front hitch, I guess is what I'll call it. I don't actually even have the bearings in yet. I have them, but I wasn't thinking whenever I welded these pieces on, and they're not perfectly straight. There's not a whole lot of tolerance in there on these, to go through the axle. So those bearings being 100% perfect meant it really. I couldn't get the rod to feed in when the bearings are in. So I'm gonna try to come up with a plan. I think I'm gonna borrow an oxyacetylene torch and just heat this up and bend it so that it is straight. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that one out later. Worst case scenario, I'll build a new hitch, but basically, it comes back to this piece of pipe. This is, I think it's 1.25" is what it's called, but its ID is 1.38, and I bought wheelbarrow bearings for this, which are OD of 1.375. So they fit. I mean, they will fall out if you take this apart, but they're fairly snug. There's not going to be enough play in there. Obviously, this is not the bolt I'm going to use. I have to make a run to Tractor Supply to get the right bolt. This is just one I had laying around so I could assemble this thing. This is a piece of 1/8" angle on both sides, and then I used a 3/16" flat bar that I cut the right size, just a little over 4 inches. I think I've seen this done where they just use a piece of 4-inch square tube or a 3-inch square tube or whatever, but I had already cut this, and did it all, so I just did it that way. I have a lot of angle in my scrap pile, so that actually worked out well. It goes into another piece of that same pipe that's right here, which is, I think it's called 1.25" Schedule 40. I'm not sure. It was in my scrap pile, but it kind of seems to match the measurement of it. I think the OD is 1.6" or something like that. This is a piece of 1.5" square tubing, and it's 11 inches long. I welded a piece of flat bar up here. Actually, this is still hot because I recently welded that. But this is where the I put this here. I was just going to plug this hole, and then I thought, well, you know what? I may end up putting a brake light and turn signals, and this would make a good spot to mount that. Some people also put flags that go-karts and stuff have on them, so that they make sure to try to do everything you can to keep traffic, so that they see that you have a trailer. So that's kind of a smart idea. I may end up putting that up there. I don't know. I capped the top like that. And then this is I think it's a 400-pound shock. I'm not sure. I bought the smallest, lightest one I could find on Amazon and really, I didn't do any math to figure this out. I just kind of winged it, and I was really hoping it would work out. It may still end up being a little strong for this load. I don't know. I mean, I'm roughly 120 pounds. I can get on this and bounce around. It seems like it is absorbing it, but I hope I don't have to haul that much weight. I'm hoping to haul more like 30 pounds, but we'll see. We'll see how it actually runs. And then I built this swing arm. It comes and it goes into another piece of pipe. There's another set of wheelbarrow bearings in there. This is a piece of 3/16" flat bar welded to 1-inch square tubing, and this is pretty thin wall. I think it's 14 gauge, I believe. And then, you know, I got those little tabs that I put on there for the shock. And then it goes back to the axle. This is an axle off a Ninja 250. I just went on eBay and I bought a Ninja 250 front wheel and a Ninja 250 front wheel axle. So that way, Ryan F9 did a really good video on the difference between motorcycle tires and car tires. I almost put a trailer tire on this thing and did it differently. And then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, you know, that seems like an awful lot of weight. Plus, it's really, I don't need that heavy duty of a tire. I'm planning on maybe 100 pounds maximum on this trailer. So it really did make a lot of sense to go just with a motorcycle tire. And I didn't really know about, you know, a lot of people did this differently. I don't know about spacers and stuff and bearings, you know, trying to find all of that to be right. It just made sense to see if I could buy one, you know, a Ninja 250. They're real common. You can find their parts on eBay for cheap. So I just did that and then built this swing arm modeled after that concept. Now, hopefully it's right. I built it based on this axle, which if that wheel mounts perfectly to this axle, I should be okay. But anyway, that's as far as I am right now. I've never had anything powder coated, but my goal is to get this thing powder coated when I'm completely done, if I end up liking it and it seems to pull well. So I'm gonna measure all my bolts to go buy all the right sizes. I guess I need to go see if I can find a brake light turn signal setup. Still pretty early planning stages and experimental stages, but I'm excited about it. I've taken a bunch of different tips and videos that I watched on this and just kind of combined them to come up with this. So we'll see how it all goes. Wish me luck. Subscribe if you want to see the updates as I get them done.